G'day everybody, let's learn some drums. I'm gonna have a crack at breaking down Humility by Gorillaz. Let's get started. First things first, I've got a couple of extra sounds. I've got a bell sound and a tambourine sound. There are so many different sounds going on in this song, I just wanted to grab a couple of extra bits for my kit. But if you don't have them, instead of the bell, just use your crash cymbal. Maybe you could get up onto the bell of your crash, so that sounds good as well. And instead of the tambourine, just hit your hi-hats when they're closed, because most of the time in those verses, we're going to be over on the floor tom. So for starters, let me just play through a basic beat that you could use for the whole verse, and then I'll play through the whole verse for you up to speed. The main things that stick out for me is that bell sound right at the end of the bar, which leads us onto the tambourine on beat 1. So those are two sounds that you can definitely grab, and if you listen closely to the track, I think you'll definitely be able to pick them out. The snare drums at the end of the second bar that are just a little bit busier, that happens a couple of times in the verse as well, so I think you should definitely try and pick those up. Anyway, now let me play through the whole verse. It does chop and change a bit. Follow along if you want to, but if you want, just take that basic beat and just play that right throughout the verse. Anyway, here we go. That verse is quite busy, but those are the main sounds that stick out for me, so I'm sure you'll be able to work something out so that you can jam along. Moving on in the chorus, we're over on our hi-hats, but we're also playing our crash cymbal with the same hand. It's going to sound like this. That is a bit convoluted and a little bit complicated, so if it's a bit tricky, I reckon just leave out that crash cymbal and focus only on your hi-hats, but still try and grab those extra snare drums and the fills. The good thing is the song is at a pretty easy tempo, so you've got a lot of time to think about what's coming up and what you've got to hit next. Moving on, we're in another verse, but we're just playing some stops for starters, and it sounds like this. From there, we continue our verse down on the floor tom, just like we did in verse 1. From that verse, we are into chorus 2, which is really similar to chorus 1. So just grab the stuff out of chorus 1 and that will totally work over the second chorus. From there, we move into our bridge, where we're going to have a rest for 4 bars, and then when we come in, the kick drums are playing 8th notes. We're on the home stretch now, and everything just opens up and gets a lot spacier. So the drums aren't actually as busy as they were before. The pattern is similar to the chorus, but it just goes like this. And now for the final few bars. There seems like there's a lot going on, but I think in the drums there's not that much going on. So we're just going to kind of use an offbeat hi-hat pattern, but I'm going to play that up on the bell, and we still have some of those busy snare drums, so let me play it for you slowly. And there we go, that is my idea of how you could play Humility by Gorillaz on the drums. Obviously there's a lot going on in the song, but those are the main things that stick out for me, and hopefully that's helped you to work something out so that you can jam along. Anyway, happy practicing guys, and I'll see you at the next lesson.